today we're going to be going over the formula of a line in slope-intercept form. So here I'm going to write down the formula. The formula is y equals mx plus b. This is slope-intercept form. We're going to go over the other forms in future videos. So, what does the y represent? What does the m represent? What does the x represent? And what does the b represent? So here I'm going to draw some axes. That's the y and x axis. So if we have a line, let's draw this line in blue right here. This line has an intercept, a y-intercept. I'll abbreviate that. And it has an x-intercept. And it has a slope. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x, as we reviewed in previous videos. So how can we find the y-intercept and the x-intercept from this formula right here? So the m in this formula represents the slope of the line. And this b right here represents the y-intercept. So if we substitute an x value into this x right here, we could find the corresponding y value over here. So let's get an example. So let's say we have the formula y equals 2x minus 5. The y-intercept would be this -5 right here. So that means if we graph the coordinate plane again, right here, and we graph a line, let's draw this line in white, it would have a y-intercept at 0, -5. So that's where the intercept would be. And over here, we can see that the slope would be 2 over 1 or 4 over 2, which would equal the slope of 2. So I want to find what the y would be if the x was equal to, let's say, 4. So I would substitute the number 4 into x. So this would be y is equal to 2 times 4 minus 5, which would equal, so y is equal to 8 minus 5, so the y value would equal 3. If we wanted to find the x-intercept, the value when y is equal to 0, we could substitute 0 into y. So it would be 0 is equal to 2x minus 5. If you add 5 to both sides, you would get, these two cancel out, and you would get 2x is equal to 5. And if you divide both sides by 2 over here, you would get the x for the x-intercept would equal 5 halves or 2.5. So that's this point right here. That's the x-intercept 2.5, comma 0. So now let's try to create a formula for a line from two different points. So over here, we'll draw another coordinate plane. And we'll put, we'll have the points, let's say 2, comma 3 there, and -1, comma 5 right there. So if we connect these 2 points, this would form a line right there, right about there. So we're trying to find the equation of that line. So let's start by finding the slope. Let me just quickly label these. So let's find the slope. As we said before, the formula for slope is m equals the change in y over the change in x. So right here, what would be the change in y and the change of x? Change in y is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what is y2? Y2 is equal to -5 minus y1, which is equal to 3, over x2, which is equal to -1, and minus x1, which is equal to 2. So this would equal -8 over -3, which is equal to 8/3. We can see that's true because if we looked over here, the change in y is 3 plus 5, which is equal to 8, and the change in x is equal to 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So the slope of this line would be 8/3. So if we substitute that back into our previous formula, y equals mx plus b, it would be y is equal to 8/3 x plus b. So how are we going to find the b? Well, we could take one of the coordinates, 2, 3, substitute that into this formula, and solve for b. So let's do that. So y would become 3. So 3 is equal to 8/3 times x, which is 2, plus b. So this would be 3 is equal to 16/3 plus b. If we subtract 16/3 from both sides, subtract 16/3, we would get b is equal to 3 minus 16/3. Let's do that over here. 3 minus 16/3. So 3 is also equal to 9/3 minus 16/3. So that would equal -7/3. So that is B. So our final equation, if we substitute B back up here, we would get the equation y is equal to 8/3 x minus 7/3. And that's how you find the equation of a line through 2 points. We'll review the other forms of the formula of a line in the next videos.